guys, it's Stock Curry back with another Millionaire Club Challenge update. I did buy 5 more stocks on Friday, and I'm going to show you what those 5 stocks are in just a minute. But before we get to that, I just want to reiterate how we're actually handling the cash flow for this particular portfolio. So if you remember, we started with $2,000 and we are investing $200 every other week. We're depositing $200 every other week. Some people prefer to deposit $100 every week. However you want to do it, that's up to you. But that's just the way that I'm doing it. And what that does is it gives us a grand total deposited for the year of $5,200, which is just below the threshold for a Roth IRA. Now, I did deposit my $200 today, and I'm going to show you the portfolio in just a minute. You're going to notice that the $200 is not quite showing up yet. And the reason for that is because it hasn't quite yet settled. When you deposit $200 into Moomoo, you do get that buying power immediately, but it does not show up in the account as part of your total portfolio position until the cash is actually settled. So let's take a look at the portfolio and see what I bought today. So getting things started, you can see the portfolio balance is at $2,018.71, down a little bit from the last time that we looked at this, but that's to be expected. I don't really care about these short-term swings or fluctuations. This is a long-term portfolio that we are looking at for the next 10 to 15 years. So what happens day to day or week to week, I don't really care. That's fine. The point is we're just going to keep buying and keep dollar cost averaging in until the portfolio eventually rises in value. So as you can see here, I've got 10 stocks in the portfolio now. I did not dollar cost average into any this week, although certainly there could be a case made for dollar cost averaging into ZIM, which is down 30% from where we bought it last time. Of course, we will get a very nice dividend out of this, so the dividend will help regain about 10% of that, but still down significantly from where we bought it, but that's okay. Like I said, over the long term, we are doing value stocks, and over the long term, we are waiting for the value to increase. And the average hold time in this portfolio is going to be 4 years with the minimum hold time of 1 year. All right, let's talk about the 5 stocks that I bought today. So the 5 stocks I bought today are Himx, Klic, UMC, Clf, and WBA. And in that order, I bought 17 shares of Himx, I bought 2 shares of Klic, I bought 15 shares of UMC, 6 shares of Clf, and 3 shares of WBA. Now, if you look at the bottom of the screen here, you can see that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the value to be around $100 for each of these buys. Some of these buys will be a little bit above, some will be a little bit below, because we're not doing any fractional share trading in this account. So the fill amounts were $101.61 on Himx, $85.59 on Klic, $98.10 on UMC, $102.40 on Clf, and $106.77 on WBA. All right, let's get into the details and talk about why I bought each one of these stocks. But before I do, I want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I talk about today is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security. These are just my opinions, which may or may not be accurate. Please do your own research before investing in any assets. All right, getting things started with Himx. This is Himax Technologies, and they have a PE ratio of 2.31. Himx has been profitable for each of the past 4 quarters, although the profitability has been declining slightly, which is why the PE ratio is so low. Now, they did do a special one-time dividend last quarter, but I'm really not concerned about that. I'm not going to include that in the value of this stock. Taking a look at the balance sheet, they have a total current assets of $1.41 billion and total current liabilities of only $796 million. I might also point out that even including their long-term liabilities, their total liabilities are only $949 million, and yet their total assets are $1.79 billion. So a very strong balance sheet on HIMX. It's cash flow positive, continuously profitable, an incredible stock, especially at this valuation. Next up is KLIC, which is Kulicke Soffa Industries. I'm sure I butchered that. Regardless, still a great stock. The PE ratio is currently 5.29. KLIC has been profitable for each of the past 4 quarters, and the profitability has been sustained. It's not really dropping. They also have a small dividend of 17 cents per quarter. Taking a look at the balance sheet, their total current assets are 1.39 billion, and their total current liabilities are only 274 million. So a very strong balance sheet for KLIC, a consistently profitable company, and a great PE ratio for this stock, especially with that dividend. The next stock I bought was UMC. This is United Microelectronics. Now, if you take a look at the PE ratio in Moomoo, it shows 13.44, but in just a minute, I'm going to show you why that's not accurate. The real PE ratio on this stock is 1.24. So if you take a look at the currency unit at the bottom of the income statement, you're going to see it's in TWD, or Taiwan dollars. So the problem with the PE ratio is that it's a little bit miscalculated due to some of the numbers being in USD and some of the numbers being in Taiwan. But I went and looked elsewhere on the internet for the US dollar conversion rate for this, and it comes out to be that 1.24 PE ratio. Regardless, we can still use the Taiwan income statement and balance sheet just to see if the company's profitable and if it has a good, strong balance sheet. And as you can see here, the company is profitable, quite profitable. Their profitability has been sustained. It's increasing, which is incredible. On the balance sheet, they have $265 billion in current assets and $131 billion in current liabilities. So they have about twice as much assets as current liabilities. So overall, another very strong balance sheet. What I really like about UMC is the fact that the income is growing, and that is great to see the earnings increasing, especially with a stock that has this low of a PE ratio. The next stock I bought was Clf Cleveland Cliffs. This has a PE ratio of 2.55. CLF has been profitable for each of the past 4 quarters, but you will notice how the profitability has been consistently declining, and that is why the PE ratio is so low on this stock. Taking a look at the balance sheet though, total current assets is 8.77 billion and total current liabilities is 3.99 billion. So they have more than twice as much current assets as they do current liabilities. So a very strong balance sheet on CLF. We just need the earnings to turn around and start going back up for us to make money on this stock. And the last stock I bought was WBA, which is Walgreens Boots Alliance. The current PE ratio on this one is 5.68. Now, the reason the PE ratio is so low on WBA is because the earnings have been going down for the past 2 quarters, and they're actually showing a year-over-year decline, which is never good. Still, it is still profitable, which is a good sign. And the dividend is really good as well at 47 cents per share each quarter. That works out to be a 5.4% dividend yield. Now, taking a look at the balance sheet, it's not good. I'm going to be honest. The total current assets are 18.87 billion and the total current liabilities are 24.07 billion. I do not like to see a company whose liabilities exceed their assets. This is the only thing about WBA that concerns me. So before I bought it, I went one more step and took a look at their cash flow to ensure that this company is cash flow positive. Despite the balance sheet not being great, so long as they're cash flow positive, they'll still be fine in paying their bills and not having to issue more stock or anything like that. So taking a look at the cash flow statement, we can see that their beginning cash position last quarter was 2.03 billion and their ending cash position last quarter was 4.54 billion, which means they had a free cash flow of 1.26 billion last quarter. So WBA is cash flow positive. That is what we want to see. So that gave me enough security to go ahead and buy this stock for a long-term hold. So those are the 5 stocks I bought today in the Millionaire Club Challenge. Again, you are free to buy whatever you want. Nothing I bought today is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold. These are just what I am buying. You can go make your own decisions on what you want to buy or not buy. This is just what I bought for my Millionaire Club portfolio. Now, if you don't currently have a broker to do these portfolios in, I want to give you some really good news. And that is the fact that Moomoo has extended their 13 free stock promotion through the end of this month. For now, through the end of this month, you can get 10 free stocks if you deposit $100 or more, and 13 free stocks if you deposit $2,000 or more. This is their best promotion ever, and it did so well last month they decided to extend it. But you can only get these free stocks if you use my link in the description below. If you do not use my link in the description below, you will only get 2 free stocks or 5 free stocks. In order to get 10 or 13, you have to use my link in the description below. You can sign up for this offer at stockcurry.vip/Moomoo. That's stockcurry.vip/Moomoo. Also, if you're in Singapore, you can sign up for Moomoo as well. And if you deposit at least 2,700 Singapore dollars, you will get 1 free Amazon stock. If you want to take advantage of that, you can sign up at stockcurry.vip/MooMooSG. That's stockcurry.vip/MooMooSG. And if you're on Australia, you can also sign up for Moomoo and you will get up to $50 for free. If you want to take advantage of that offer, you can sign up at stockcurry.vip/MooMooAU. That's stockcurry.vip/MooMooAU. And if you already have Moomoo, I also wanted to let you know that Webull has extended their free stock offer. With Webull, you can get up to 12 free stocks. More of a lottery system. It's going to be anywhere from 6 to 12. And with Webull, you just have to deposit $100 to take advantage of that. If you're interested in getting Webull and up to 12 free stocks, you can sign up for that offer using my link in the description below at stockcurry.vip/Webull. That's stockcurry.vip/Webull. And if you're not in one of those 3 countries and you still want to join us in this Millionaire Club Challenge, I do recommend Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers has by far the lowest trading fees of any broker I have found. It will save you a ton of money if you decide to join us in this challenge. If you're interested in Interactive Brokers, I have a link for them in the description of this video as well, or you can go to stockcurry.vip/platforms. That's stockcurry.vip/platforms. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, click the bell icon and click all so that you can get notified when I release my next video. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with more stock picks.